You are the type of owner who genuinely loves your dog, who shows up for every training session, who tries harder when things go wrong. And yet something keeps breaking down. Your dog tunes you out, freezes, or shuts down completely. You raise your voice. You repeat the command 3 more times. Nothing. Here is what nobody tells you about that moment. The problem was never your dog. It was the emotional signal you were sending before you ever opened your mouth. Most training advice focuses on commands, repetitions, and rewards. But your dog is not listening to your words first. They are reading your body, your breath, your tension. And when your emotions run hot, your communication breaks down entirely. In this video, we are going to break down exactly why emotional interference is the #1 hidden barrier to obedience, and what calm leadership actually looks and feels like in practice. Let us start with something that might feel uncomfortable to hear. Your dog is not confused because they are stubborn. They are not ignoring you because they lack intelligence or drive. They are confused because the signals you are sending with your body, your breathing, your posture, and your tone do not match the message you are trying to deliver. And dogs, biologically, trust the nonverbal signal every single time. Here is why that matters so much. Dogs evolved as social animals inside tightly coordinated groups. Survival depended on reading emotional states instantly, not processing verbal explanations. So before your dog ever hears the words sit or stay, they have already scanned your face, felt the tension in your leash grip, clocked the sharpness in your exhale, and drawn a conclusion about what kind of energy they are dealing with right now. That scan happens in milliseconds. Your spoken command comes after. So if the emotional read says danger, confusion, or instability, the command lands on shaky ground before it even registers. This is what trainers mean when they say your dog mirrors you. It is not poetic. It is neurological. Think about the last time a training session went sideways. Maybe your dog was doing well, then made a mistake. You felt frustration rise. Your jaw tightened. You repeated the command louder. Your dog either froze, looked away, started sniffing the ground, or offered some random behavior just to break the tension. You probably read that as defiance. But what your dog was actually doing was stress displacement. They felt the shift in your emotional state, registered it as a threat signal, and their nervous system went into a low-grade survival response. Learning shuts down under that condition. Every time. And here is the thing that makes this so hard to see from the inside. When you are frustrated, you do not feel like you are sending a threat signal. You feel like you are trying harder. You feel invested. You feel like your emotion is proof that you care. But from your dog's perspective, unpredictable emotional intensity does not feel like love or effort. It feels like instability. And instability in a leader is something dogs are wired to either manage, avoid, or shut down around. So what does your dog actually need from you in a training moment? Not excitement, not apologies, not high-pitched praise that spikes the energy before they have even made a decision. What they need is calm, readable, consistent information delivered from a state of regulation. That is the whole foundation of what calm leadership means in practice. It is not about being cold or robotic. It is about being a signal they can trust. Let us break down what emotional interference actually looks like in 3 specific ways, because once you can name it, you can catch it. The first type is frustration escalation. This is the most common one. Your dog does not respond to a cue, so your energy rises, your voice sharpens, your body stiffens. You might not even raise your voice above a normal volume, but the tension is there. Dogs read that shift immediately, and rather than receiving a clearer signal, they receive a louder version of a confusing one. Nothing gets cleaner. It just gets more stressful. The second type is anxious overcoaching. This one affects a lot of well-meaning owners who want to do everything right. You hover. You repeat cues before your dog has had time to think. You use your hands too much. Your voice fills every gap of silence, and your energy communicates that something might go wrong at any moment. Your dog picks up on that anticipatory anxiety. They stop trusting their own responses and start watching you for reassurance instead of processing the task. Training becomes a performance of uncertainty instead of a clear conversation. The third type is emotional inconsistency. One session you are patient and calm. The next you are distracted and tight. Your dog learned quickly in the first session, but in the second session they seem to forget everything. You blame the dog. But what actually happened is that your dog reads each session fresh. They are not drawing on a memory of your good days. They are reading the room right now. And if today's signal is different from last time, the learning does not transfer cleanly. Consistency in your emotional state is not a bonus. It is the structure the learning gets built on. Now here is the shift that changes everything. Calm leadership is not something you perform. It is something you practice until it becomes your default state in those high-stakes moments. And it starts with one simple principle: regulate yourself before you try to communicate with your dog. What does that look like practically? It means before you give a cue, you take one breath and drop your shoulders. It means when your dog misses something, you pause instead of repeating. It means when you feel frustration starting to rise, you end the rep cleanly, reset, and start again from neutral rather than pushing through with heat in your chest. These are small adjustments, but they change the entire channel your dog is receiving on. When you consistently bring regulated energy into training, something remarkable starts to happen. Your dog stops bracing. They stop offering stress behaviors. They stop looking for an exit. Instead, they start orienting toward you with focus. Not because you have enforced compliance, but because you have become the most predictable, readable presence in their environment. And predictability, for a dog, is safety. Safety is the condition under which learning explodes. You will notice it first in small ways. Your dog holds eye contact a beat longer. They respond to a lighter cue. They recover from a mistake faster instead of shutting down. And over time, the entire texture of your sessions changes. Training stops feeling like a negotiation and starts feeling like a conversation. That shift is the calm leader effect in action. So let us bring this back to the tension we started with. You are the type of owner who tries hard. You show up. You care. And that caring, when it comes through as emotional volatility, whether frustration, anxiety, or inconsistency, becomes the very thing that blocks your dog's ability to learn from you. Not because your dog does not want to respond, but because the signal they need in order to respond clearly has been buried under emotional noise. The most powerful thing you can give your dog in a training session is not a new technique or a better treat. It is a regulated, stable, readable version of you. That is what calm leadership is. And it is the foundation every other skill gets built on. If this reframe landed for you, take it into your very next session. Even just one moment where you catch the frustration rising and pause instead of pushing. That pause is where the trust gets built. And if you want to go deeper into what calm communication looks like across different training challenges, the next video is going to break that down in a lot more detail. Go check it out when you are ready. Thanks for watching. If you loved this video, scan the QR code on the screen right now to subscribe and join the Possum Life family. Give your dog a belly rub for us, and we will see you in the next video.